With a former WWE writer detailing how close John Cena came to turning heel, Andrade having no creative control in AEW and more, this is Wrestling Up. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for June 8th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Up and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Speaking with Renee Paquette, Aleister Black touched on his WWE career, mentioning that the company had nixed a couple of big feuds for him. One of the cool pitches for me was that for a moment, when I had that match with AJ Styles, one of the things leading up to WrestleMania was that during the end of that match with AJ, the Undertaker appeared and helped me and saved me from the beatdown the Good Brothers gave me. One of the pitches was at WrestleMania it was going to be the other way around, so it was Taker and AJ. And one of the pitches was that towards the end of that match, the Good Brothers would come out or something to that extent, and I would be the one to help Taker. The fact that they even considered that was like, wow, it was very cool. One of Heyman's ideas was to have Samoa Joe or Brock Lesnar come into the room at the time that would eventually lead to an interaction between me, Brock Lesnar, or Samoa Joe. I would cut a promo in this room and Lesnar would come in through the darkness and choke me out and stuff. Of course, Heyman would be removed from his position as executive director of Raw, so Black's push would come to a halt. Now we'll have to see what Tommy End will do next. The Bella twins are considering ending their reality TV show Total Bellas. As Brie told E! We love filming reality. We don't mind it, but you start seeing your kids and that's what you have to start to think about. My daughter hates the camera, so does my husband. Nikki would add that she did not want to raise her 10-month-old son in front of a camera, saying I just don't want him one day to look at me and be like, you never gave me that choice. You put my life out there and you didn't let me have a say, and I don't want that. I want him to have a normal upbringing, and when he's 18 he can choose whatever it is he wants to do, or even younger than that. Brie would even say that her daughter does not really like the camera. Birdie doesn't even let me take pictures, so I'm very respectful of her space, what she wants. I only let her film if she wants to walk into a scene. While the Bella twins seem ready to quit their show, Dave Meltzer thinks they don't have much of a choice, saying this on Wrestling Observer Radio. What I heard was he had not committed to picking the show up for another season, so it all works out. The show isn't officially done, but all signs lead to it probably being done. I could pretty much say that people had thought that was a factor whatever Bryan Danielson was going to do, and it's not a factor. That show is a non-factor because I think pretty much knew the show was going to be over for a while. This isn't. They said it for the first time publicly today. I don't want to say it's 100% known for a couple of months, but pretty much I think it was known for after the last season. After John Cena left, the show views dropped dramatically, so it looks like the Bellas are ready to move on. On his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T spoke about AEW signing Andrade, having high praise for the Star's WWE feud with Rey Mysterio. It definitely is a big pickup for AEW going forward, having a guy like him on their roster. I've said it many times, this guy is extraordinary as far as work in the ring, the feud, the series of matches that he had with Rey Mysterio. I tell you, he made Rey look 20 years younger, and I'm not trying to age Rey or anything like that. It showed me how good of a worker this guy really truly is from a perspective that he gets it. He knows exactly what it means to go out there and get someone over and get himself over. Andrade has been paired with Vicky Guerrero as fans hoping to achieve a lot in this new promotion. While Andrade has worked out and signed a deal with AEW, there were issues leading up to it, as he wanted creative control. A compromise was said to be made by Wrestling Inc. where Andrade would have control over some of his finishes. This turned out to be not the case, as Ringside News reported. We are told that Andrade's deal with AEW does not have any creative control. It was also noted that no one in AEW has creative control in their contracts, as Khan has total control over creative. Tony Khan has even vetoed executive vice presidents for wanting to lose and put over younger talent. So it seems Khan will remain the final decision maker for all talent. Former Forgotten Sons member Jaxson Ryker has been having trouble with his newfound partner in Elias. As PW Insider noted, WWE sources indicate that the plan is going forward, Ryker will be on the babyface side of the roster. Of course, Ryker's controversy began with a supportive tweet for Donald Trump during nationwide BLM protest. This caused backlash from fans and those in WWE as the Forgotten Sons were taken off TV, with his former partner Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake being released by the company. With a new look, Ryker will be a good guy in the roster going forward. During a multi-team battle royal on Raw, many fans took notice of only one member of the Lucha House Party being in that contest. Following that match, Gran Metalik tweeted and revealed he's injured, which caused him to miss the match this week. Lince Dorado was in the bout for a Lucha House Party, while John Morrison represented his team with Miz by himself, as Miz was ringside still recovering. Even though it was reported there are no new feuds for Big E at this time, WrestlingNews.co has said, was told that Big E is one of McMahon's favorite people and he will always find something for him to do, according to a source in the company. There appears to be no worry for Big E getting lost in the shuffle as he looks to rebound on SmackDown after his apparent feud with Aleister Black came to an end. On his Talkin' Shop podcast, former WWE star Karl Anderson gave advice to those released by the company. We know what it's like to get canned from WWE. Here's the advice I would say. Enough of the thank you tweets. Give me a break. When you get canned, let it go. How about hashtag buzz off? I don't think less than 24 hours after being fired, take a second to take a breather. Take it easy with the thank you within 24 hours. Breathe it in and take it all in for just 1 second. Put together a plan of attack before you start thanking all these people that fired you, because people give Jim Ross a lot of heat, but I have respect for Jim Ross because when he got canned, he said there's a reason why WWE decided to not do business with these individuals anymore. It's as true as it can get, and thank God. We made the most money we've ever made in our lives this past year, and that's after WWE. Anderson has been wrestling for Impact as well as AEW, with him looking to be doing well for himself outside the company. With We Watch Wrestling, former WWE writer Matt McCarthy talked about how close the company came to turning John Cena heel, saying Vince kept trying to figure out how do we do like a Bret Hart thing, where he's a heel in some places but he's a babyface in the rest of the places. Cena was like, if I'm going to be heel, I want to go full heel, and it didn't get close enough to the point where, and I'm sure he still has the gear, like Cena had gear made for the heel turn, you know, no longer the jorts. I don't know what the gear was, but he had specific gear made ready and waiting, and then obviously we know it never happened. And there was a point in the discussions where it was like, well, the people who are going to cheer him are going to continue to cheer him, and the people who are going to boo him are just going to keep booing. So the thinking was, that's the most heelish thing he can do, is to stay that white meat, smiling, pure babyface. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.